Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, January 11th. A cold morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Temperatures primarily in the 20s. An Arctic front passed through the region late yesterday with some isolated heavier showers, maybe even some embedded thunderstorms along the I-95 corridor. Arctic air moved in. Temperatures dropped from nearly highs of 60 degrees in many spots yesterday to the 20s this morning. It'll stay cold and windy today, and a second Arctic front arrives late tomorrow. That second front has a decent amount of upper level support, should produce the first snowflakes of the season for many parts of the I-95 corridor later tomorrow into early tomorrow night. An outside chance of some minor accumulations in some areas with a heavier burst of snow that is indeed possible with this upper level support. That is quite impressive. Let's start off by looking at the 500 millibar pattern for later tomorrow. This is actually the forecast map for tomorrow morning from last night's 0Z GFS model run. Quite an upper level shortwave here crossing the Great Lakes region. By tomorrow morning, it's in the central part of the Great Lakes. Early tomorrow afternoon, it starts shifting to the Mid-Atlantic region. Kind of takes on a little bit of a negative tilt to it, and then by tomorrow evening, finally, it's right on top of the I-95 corridor. Again, a pretty vigorous Arctic front moving into the area late Tuesday into early Tuesday night, causing the first snow showers of the season up and down the I-95 corridor. Well, let's now take a look at some surface forecast maps, again from last night's 0Z GFS model run. All of these maps available on tropicaltidbits.com. This is the forecast map for tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning. Blues here represent snow. This is the wave of low pressure associated with the secondary Arctic front as of tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning. Let's now jump out 6 hours, and here we go. The frontal system itself sliding right towards the I-95 corridor by early tomorrow afternoon. Finally, by tomorrow evening, some snow shower activity from D.C. up across Philly and New York City. The farther north and east, the better the chance for a brief outburst of heavier snow, the better the chance for some minor accumulations. Even down in D.C., they certainly should see the first snowflakes of the season with some snow shower activity tomorrow afternoon into the early part of tomorrow night. And again, in Philly and New York City, snow showers tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. Could be a brief burst of heavier snow, and there could even be a few raindrops mixed in right at the onset, but for the most part this should be a light snow event associated with this vigorous Arctic frontal system. Well, let's now shift models to the European model here. In fact, we're looking at the 850 temperature anomalies from the European ensemble run of last night's 0Z. The lower part of the atmosphere, the blues here represent colder than normal. And this is the forecast map for this evening. Quite a widespread area of blues here and purple showing up below normal temperatures behind that first Arctic front. Let's now jump ahead 24 hours. This is the forecast map for Tuesday evening. Again, the European ensemble, 850 millibar temperature anomalies. Quite another push of Arctic air well below normal behind this second front. This is the Tuesday night forecast. Let's now jump out to Wednesday night. There it is, centered right on top of the region during the day Wednesday. Wednesday probably the coldest day of the week in the I-95 corridor. Many locations, even in the big cities, will struggle to reach the freezing mark. Could hold in the upper 20s. Let's now jump out another 24 hours. Again, all these maps from tropicaltidbits.com. It starts to warm up gradually at the end of the week, Friday, back to near normal, maybe around 40 degrees for highs. And then we go out another 24 hours. And on late Saturday evening, this is the European ensemble run. Again, a little bit above normal by Saturday. Moisture at this time pushes to the north and east, probably in the form of rain along the I-95 corridor. Still some possibilities that later on over the weekend, as colder air gets back into the east, there's a chance of snow. But for right now, the onset, certainly anything that falls Friday night or Saturday looks like in the form of rain. Now let's go out another 24 hours, and behind that weekend system there is another cold air outbreak headed first into the middle part of the country, and then by the time we get to a Sunday night, the latter part of the week and Sunday night into the early part of next week, a big cold air outbreak into the eastern states. It looks like by the time Martin Luther King Day rolls around next Monday, it'll be quite cold in the eastern half of the nation. So for many folks, later tomorrow, early tomorrow night, the first snowflakes of the season along the I-95 corridor. An outside chance of some small accumulations with a heavier burst of snow, especially as you move north and east along I-95. A better chance in Philly than D.C. and an even better chance in New York City than in Philly. Again, later tomorrow into early tomorrow night. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.